Hey, what is up guys, DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video, and today we are going to be doing a showcase for the brand new SR Compress that has just come out in the game. So before we get into that showcase, let's talk about his kit a little bit. I know initially I said I wasn't a big fan of his kit, and I think I'm still not a huge fan of his kit, but I have used him a little bit, and I think I'm liking him a little bit more. I like his damage for an SR character. He's actually doing decent damage. Alright, so you can see I don't have any advanced leveling done. As far as his ability board goes, I only have his first skill unlocked, and then I have him just barely awakened. Okay, so for skills, he has Cane Magic, which is his plus ultra, which is also his action skill. I don't know why they couldn't come up with two different names. Like I said before, it's a little weird. But his plus ultra deals 450% damage to a single opponent. Low chance of binding the opponent for 2 turns. Also shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1. The action skill cooldown time by 1 is good, especially considering his action skill cooldown times, which we'll see the other one below here in a second. Low chance of binding the opponent for 2 turns is decent when you couple it with his auto skill below. That's not terrible. Alright, so his first action skill is Cane Magic. It deals 275% damage to a single opponent. Low chance of binding the opponent for 1 turn. So that low chance of binding, once again, isn't super terrible. It's not great for the first turn though, but it gets better as the battle goes on because of his auto skill. But it does have a cooldown time of 5, which is not great. This one is really bad for cooldown time. Release Illusion deals 225% damage to all opponents. This does actually do quite a bit of damage. Decreases power of all opponents by 20% for 3 turns. That is really good. That technical hit is really good. I don't know if it actually counts as multiple technical hits. It might count as multiple, which could be decent. And then gives all allies the ability to evade 1 time. Giving all allies the ability to evade can also be very good. Honestly, you're not really going to ever need it in VE Tower or any hard content. The only place that evade is actually going to be useful is the new event where you can use Compress for the bonus medals. That is where that evasion could actually come in handy. But as far as using him in normal game content after the event goes away, that evasion isn't going to be super useful. It really has a cooldown time of 6, even though it says cooldown time of 7 because of his plus ultra. His first auto skill is Extraordinary Magician. It increases character's critical hit rate by 20% for 3 turns when a wave starts. Increases chance of binding when landing a critical hit up to 5 times. So there you go. Increases the chance of binding up to 5 times, which will basically get you a little bit below or to about a medium chance of binding, I think, from a low chance to a medium chance. So it gets a little bit better, but it does take 5 critical hits to eventually get good enough to actually land the bind. It rarely lands the bind otherwise. His second auto skill is Fluttering Personality. It increases character speed by 20% for 3 turns when a wave starts and decreases skill impact of all opponents by 10% for 3 turns when HP is below 30%. The increasing speed is not great for, you're not going to ever use this guy in Ultra Arena, so that's the only thing speed's good for is Ultra Arena right now currently in the game, so that's not really useful. Decreasing skill impact of opponents is okay, that's decent, it's not terrible, that will help you out a little bit so you don't take so much damage, but still not anything super spectacular with that auto skill, kind of a very subpar auto skill. And then I don't have any EX skills on him, so we can just see what he can do basically as a character by himself. Alright, so we're going to hop in to the most recent quick stage against Ida, the final boss. We are running an all destruction type team, so we probably won't get like a super fast clear, but I thought it'd be more fun to run him on an all villains team in like lieu of the event with the villains event. Alright, so here we go. Alright, and I switched it up a little bit. I'm switching to the Eraser stage because I forgot Ida can't be bound, and that's kind of annoying. I want to see if Compress can bind. So we're going to go against the Eraser stage. It is still a yellow type boss, and then it's also a pro hero, so we'll get to see the full benefit of Shigaraki's active skill as well, along with the other two, and you'll see why that's important here in a second. Alright, so we are running the all destruction team. They are all villains, but there's a little bit more to this team than that. So let me show you why this team is actually so interesting and why it's so cool now that we have Compress. So you have this action skill right here, Necrosis, which deals 325% damage to a single opponent for Shigaraki, but then it also decreases the opponent's power by 25% for 3 turns if the opponent is a pro hero. Okay, so he's going to lose 25% of his power. Then we have Compress's new action skill, which is going to decrease the power of all opponents by 25 or 20% for 3 turns. So there you go. That's another ridiculous power decrease. So far that's 45% power decrease plus the ability to evade, which is really good. So Aizawa's not going to hit us right here, which is insane. And then we have Dabi's action skill, which decreases the power of all opponents by 15%. So that's 60% power decrease. Aizawa cannot touch us. It's actually insane. Actually insane. I don't know if this is going to get us the highest score, but this is definitely crazy to think that we can reduce an enemy's power this much with a full villain team. It's actually insane. No crit. Okay, he removed our buffs, but he is debuffed. You can see right there on the top, his health bar, he is debuffed 3 times over. I'll just show you guys right here. He has 2 more turns of power down by 60%. That's actually ridiculous. 45 plus 15, 60%. Oh my gosh, so he won't be able to even touch us. All right, here we go. We're gonna do this, which has a medium chance to fear. We're going to do this, which has a low chance to bind. It is the lowest chance we could possibly have right now because we didn't hit any crits. So we're not increasing that chance at all. And then we are also doing this. So let's see if the low chance to bind will actually proc. I don't have my hopes up. I really, really don't. Okay, we got the fear. No bind, of course. Of course not. We didn't get the bind, but that's okay. He did like no damage to us. He did 3,000 damage to. Look at that. Look at our health. Okay, so that's actually insane. That is one thing that could be nuts with this new compress. The ability to evade and decrease enemies' power is insane. I'm interested to know if it counts as more than 1 technical hit because it hits all enemies at the same time. I don't think it does because it's like Dabi's fire, which only counts as 1 technical. So I don't think it counts as multiple technicals. Just throwing that out there. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do Dabi's plus Ultra. Dabi's plus Ultra will just burn the enemy, basically. And as you can see, even with Adventure Awaits on Compress, not the best plus Ultra build-up, but this whole team doesn't have the best plus Ultra build-up. You'd probably need someone that could like make your characters ecstatic or raise your plus Ultra a little bit better, or maybe a DX skill would get him up to what he needs. But on his own, he doesn't have great plus Ultra, so for his DX skills, you probably want to put something that has to do with plus Ultra on him. Alright, and now Aizawa's full power is back. So he hit us for 2,000 with an auto there. We'll compare right here and see how much he hits us with an auto for. Okay, so we have Compresses plus Ultra, which has a low chance of binding again for 2 turns, and he's going to shorten his action skill cooldown, so we get our action skills back a little bit quicker. Pretty nice plus Ultra, not great for an SR, but I mean it is an SR. Okay, we finally hit a crit right there. Okay, so Compress might die. We did take a little bit, like quite a bit more damage there compared to, like, he used an action skill on us before, you saw on Compress, and barely did anything. He used an auto attack right there and did a pretty decent amount of damage. So that's how much the power down actually does. I am scared. I am thinking he might kill Compress here, but we'll have to see. And the action skill cooldown time is not terrible, but it's not great either if you're going for a 6-turn clear. Alright, so we're on turn 6 right now, and we have this action skill back that has a low chance of binding, but realistically that's not good enough because we need the other action skill back to give us our evasion. So that evasion having a 6-turn cooldown, technically 7 turns before the plus Ultra, kind of wonky and kind of sucks. If it just had 1 turn lower cooldown, it would be amazing. This Compress would actually be a very decent unit. With just lower that cooldown by 1, he could have been so good. I'm actually kind of sad. Alright. Should we cause fear or should... Nah, let's do this. Okay, so Compress might die right here. I wish we had the evasion. I wish we had the evasion. It would be so sick. Okay, but we got the bind, huge, the bind comes through in the clutch. Okay, Compress, I won't doubt you, jeez, okay, and now we get the evasion as well, so even if we don't kill him, we're good, and we're gonna decrease his power. Oh my, we're so good. Okay, Compress coming in clutch, there you go, I lied, Compress is actually fairly decent, I was wrong, I'm happy to admit that I was wrong. Oh, man. Oh, man. I thought we would actually tank that a little bit better. So I know he obviously removes buffs, and evasion being one of those buffs, I knew that was going to go away. But I thought because we had the extra power decrease on him, he was decreased by 60%. He only did 22,000. Normally he does a lot more damage, so we did decrease power, but it just wasn't, definitely not enough to protect Compress. But I overall, after doing the showcase, after trying him out in VE Tower, I could see him actually being okay. I think he is going to have to fit on specific teams. I don't think he's going to work for every team, but he's not as bad as I originally said he's going to be. I'll fully admit that. I thought he was going to be so much worse when I looked at him on paper, and you know what? I'm kind of liking him. The only thing I would change about him, realistically right now, is that action skill cooldown time of 7. That's just a little bit too high for my liking, but overall, you know what? I am impressed with Compress. So for everyone out there who's saying he's actually decent, yeah, I agree with you. If you like the Compress, there you go. I kind of like him too. So there you go. If you guys enjoyed the video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I am still trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys, everyone that has subscribed so far. And please leave me some comments about what you guys thought about the video, what you think about the new Compress, guys, because I think he's actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. And thank you for watching. Peace.